Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to show you the semi-hydro coleus plants that I have been keeping and propagating off of. Now, what I love, everybody knows this that watches my videos, I keep saying that, but leca is nice. The clay pebbles, lightweight expanded clay aggregate, LECA. It's good. I like it. I don't like it as much as lava rock. So most of these plants, and these are only 4 examples of my Coleus in Semi-Hydro. These guys are mostly in lava rock, but I also have buddy stone, which is kind of like grow stones. It's recycled glass that gets puffed, and it's like huge pieces of perlite. But we'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, I love growing coleus this way. I have coleus in soil because a lot of the plants that I get initially are in soil, just like anybody else. When you go to the store, you get them in soil. So either I take them out because of the gnat problem, I take them out, clean off the roots really well, put them into the semi-hydro, or I take cuttings and grow the cuttings in semi-hydro. It really depends on the shape of the roots because sometimes they have a hard time bouncing back, being transferred if you clean them too well. But anyway, here is an example of a beautiful coleus, and it's in semi-hydro in lava rock. So you can see lava rock. I love lava rock for a couple of reasons, but one differentiating factor between lava rock and leca is that lava rock wicks moisture really high, like just about to the top of the vessel. So even if your water, you can see my water needs to be replenished, and the roots are starting to grow like crazy down here. But no matter where you fill the water to, it's going to wick all the way to the top. And you'll even start to see, and I'll show you in another one of the plants, you'll even start to see the roots growing along the top of the lava. So it's just, for me and for what I use it for, it's superior in growing these coleus. Look at the colors on this plant, man. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful coleus. Love it. And it's been in semi-hydro for a very long time. And you can see from the root growth alone, it not only grew all over the place on the inside, but it's starting to grow outside into the reservoir, which is typically what happens in semi-hydro. But this plant loves it. It's under grow lights, and it is getting its nutrients, half to quarter strength, depending on my mood for the week. But either way, you can't go wrong. These plants thrive and get more lush for me than they do in soil here. So I just adore coleus in semi-hydro. I recommend it if you want to experiment a little, like I do, because everyone knows I love to experiment. I say go get yourself some lava rock. Big box stores sell it, like Home Depot. You can also get it online. Home Depot tends to be cheaper, and you can get a nice little bag of it and rinse it really good, just like you would with leca, and then prop it up. And it gets more, it's a little heavier than leca, than the clay pebbles, and it's also more stable. Since they're not spherical, they're kind of, jagged to a point, they lock into each other better, and it keeps the plant from shifting all over the place. So it's like it's in its own, soil root ball. Anyway, fantastic. So that's the first one. This one was a coleus that was just in plain old water. It was a water propagation, and I just kind of left it in water, and I would rinse it out and fill it up, and I just said, all right, it's time to do something with this because it's not growing fast enough. Water propagations, they stay alive for, an extended period of time, but they don't have that oxygen absorption of the roots unless you keep supplying it, like freshening the water every couple of days. They're not going to get the same amount of oxygen to the roots that they would if there's no layer or section of air that the roots can absorb the oxygen from. Being in semi-hydro, as you can see, all the roots on the inside cup, when it all dries up, it stays extremely humid and moist in there. So those roots don't die when the water level gets this low. It's nice and humid in there, so they continue to grow and they get tons and tons of oxygen. So that's another reason why the semi-hydro with the lava rock works extremely well. So since I put this in, it was wilting at first because it was like, where's my water? It's, was used to water. It perked up within a few days. I don't think I see any new roots growing on the outside here, but that's fine because they will very soon. The fact that it perked up shows that there's new root growth because it was very sad. But now it's happy, so I'm happy. So that's that one. This one has been in the Buddy Stone, which is like the Grow Stones, recycled glass, for a while now, a few months. I tend to neglect this one, and I just kind of top it off. I haven't even given it a lot of food, but it doesn't care. Look at these roots that grew outside. It's just insane. It's insane. So this plant is pretty happy in its home. Look at those roots on the inside growing all around the Buddy Stone. And the thing with Buddy Stone or Grow Stones, because it's really the same thing, I just think that it's been acquired by a different company or something like that. The thing with these stones they're very similar to the lava rock. If you look closely, there's mineral deposit on here. I'm going to have to rinse, but it's very porous. You see like the air pockets, the little holes that are in the lava. Well, these have the same thing because they're puffed up. It's recycled glass that gets puffed up. So you can see all those little cavities. So this wicks up moisture similarly to lava, but not as good. I'll tell you that much. It's not as good. The top layer tends to dry out. Like this right now, it's very dry. Even though the water level is low, in lava rock, it would still be damp up here. But in the Buddy Stone, it's a little dry, which is fine. It's all right. If I really, really have a problem with it or I need to switch it up, I'll just pull this out and put it in lava because lava never fails me. But another good option for a medium for semi-hydro for Coleus because Coleus love it. This one here, I've taken lots of cuttings from. It was under intense grow lights. You can see the colors of the leaves. The older leaves are dark, very, very dark. This is the same plant as this, okay? From the same mother plant, same cultivar, everything's the same, except this has been under intense light, and these were grow lights. They were like the purpley, magenta colored lights, LEDs also. These were just under regular daylight white LEDs. These were under the grow light LEDs. So you could see it didn't really grow tall because it didn't need to reach for the light. It was under the intense lights. The leaves didn't get as big. They're firmer. They actually started to curl a little bit, and it's a very sturdy plant, but it didn't have a need to grow very tall in order to get the light to make its food. This one is also in lava, and you can see those roots are going all over the place. Now, the reason why, you see how the roots go a lot higher here than, let's say, this one. This one, they go pretty high too, but not all the way to the top. This one, the roots go all the way to the top, and let me see if I can show you. Over here in the edge, I want to get close enough so you can see. See those roots? Those are roots growing along the top of the lava. Now, you'll never see that with leca because the top layer, it's like the top inch or two of leca, of the clay pebbles, dries out because it only wicks up. Let's say if this is my reservoir and it ends here, it'll only wick up maybe an inch or two above it, right? Lava rock, because of the porosity and how each of these rocks are constructed, they wick the moisture much higher to the point where these roots are starting to grow at the top level of the rock, of the media. And you can see the roots go all the way up. Now, another reason why this is happening is these other plants, I have a reservoir as being another cup, okay? And there's a slit. I cut a slit on the edge of the main cup that's holding the plant and the lava. I cut a slit at the bottom so that for easy drainage, I could take this out, run water through to flush it out, drain it out really well, and then I just fill it in with the water with nutrient. With this one, I just made a hole. Where is it? Right here. I made a hole in the cup. Now, usually with semi-hydro, especially for orchids, you're going to want to put that hole down like maybe an inch up from the bottom or 2 inches up from the bottom. Now, because this is a Coleus and Coleus love water and moisture, I have it closer to the top. Now, in doing that, it keeps everything more humid in there. This one, when it dries out, it stays humid because it wicks it up. But if I let it get down too low, it's going to start to dry at the top first, right? With this one, for some reason, well, maybe it's that I don't let it drain completely. I don't let it dry up. But it got pretty dry recently, and it was like really down to here, and I just filled it up. But it still retains the moisture. I prefer this method with the hole, and I usually do it higher than halfway. And the reason why, I'll tell you, is because you could do it halfway, you could do it lower than that, but then you're really limited to the amount of reservoir that you're giving yourself. You know what I mean? And some people say, well, you need that reservoir to be low because you need the oxygen layer. Let me tell you, there's always going to be an oxygen layer. And if you have the hole up here, it gives you the option. You could fill it to here one week. You could fill it to here the next week. You can go all the way up to where the drainage hole is. I want that flexibility. And as you can see, it hasn't caused a problem to the Coleus. These roots go all the way up. And the plant is sturdy and really firm and healthy. Now that it's out of the grow lights, we're probably going to see some branching. I hope I don't see any flower buds here. There may be a flower bud there, and that's probably from the intense light. It's fine. I may let it go to flower so I can get some seeds, because since this is a highly manipulated cultivar, the offspring will probably be all kinds of different things. So I may want to see what they turn out to be. But bottom line is, this plant is thriving. It's more than thriving. The roots are growing all over the place like a creature from the depths. And I will always be rooting for lava rock. I just think it is fantastic. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I figured I wanted to show you what I've been doing on this side of things, on the Coleus side of things. Still propagating as they grow. Otherwise, I'd be living in a Coleus jungle because they grow so quickly. I need to chop them down and make new babies. And of course, people are purchasing, and everyone wants Coleus this year, and it's nice and early, so they're getting them in advance. The weather's better to ship, so if you're interested, hit me up. Also, you could check out the Puny Plants shop in Etsy. That's always available. Otherwise, hope you guys have a fantastic day and week. Thank you for checking in and watching the video. Thanks for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider it. And if you don't consider it, thanks for watching anyway. It's all good. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And I will see you in the next video.